Middle East and the Far East, give you a little feeling about the oil and gas and its challenges for that part of the world. I will cover a little bit the whole world and the challenges of the renewables for our production of oil and gas, where it is the main income source for many Middle Eastern and Far Eastern countries. I'm sure you are aware about the numbers, but I will share them with you. In 2013, we think the world will consume about 90 million barrels of crude oil a day. This number should see about 700 to 800,000 barrels of crude increase in this year. 30 million came from the OPEC countries, 10 million from Saudi Arabia. These numbers are very important, where I will come back to the challenges that faces us as producers on the other side of the world. We could see a drop in the price of oil. I'm sure everybody wish here. And I personally like to see lower crude oil than what we see today. Iraq is going to produce more oil this year. There is no stoppage in Iraq. Nobody can stop Iraq from producing because they have been under sanctions for many years. As well, of course, as the U.S. production, which will rise by about 730,000. We should see two challenges really are coming to the oil in our region. One is the renewable, of course, and the other one is the tight oil that is coming out from the U.S. The U.S. could produce about 1.2 million barrels of crude oil from the renewable. This is the low side. The high side could go to about 2.2 million barrels. That's where the people are saying now that the Americans are going to be the next Saudis. I do not see that personally with the shale gas, the shale oil or the oil. So the U.S. could reach a production of 7.6. This will affect really the rest of the world where I will come. That's really the first challenge. Of course, the other challenge are the renewables, and I'm sure you have covered most of them here this morning. But there is a phenomenon that's happening, mainly in the Middle East, China, India, and Africa. These countries are really growing at a rate that we have not seen in the history, I think. If you look at China, still they are recording 9% growth. India is still holding at 7%. The whole Middle East is growing. Even with all these turmoils that we see growth in these countries. People really are, because of technology, because of communications, and better knowledge of what's going on in the world, people are bettering their lives, their businesses. Therefore, this region, even we have demand from Abu Dhabi today for gas. Abu Dhabi is a big producer of gas, a big exporter of oil, but they still need more gas because they have more profit. Oman, which is exporting 7 million barrels per day, is in need of gas today. Egypt is running at a very low gas, and they are an exporter and they cannot change it. For the Middle East and the Far East, really, of course, our challenges with the renewables are mainly the biodiesel and the propane for the transportation. However, we still do not think in the near future this will make a big difference on the change of the energy mix for the transportation. Of course, there is the hybrid and the power, battery power, that is still there. Ethanol is a long way we think it's a long way, 30, 20 years, to be really the challenge for oil or gas. We have seen even in the Middle East now investments and the Far East, especially on the renewable when it comes to the sun. The sun is really the one that will work in the Middle East. I don't think the wind power and the others are going to make a big difference. And this there is a big breakthrough. It gives us security, of course, and reduce the bill that you pay for your energy. Today, I'll give you an example. Saudis have a problem really to produce electricity because they don't have enough gas. They are burning their own oil. So now they are converting to other means, especially the sun, which is available in the country all the year around. If we look at the best renewable country in the Far East that we look at today, it is China. China has been leading the world really in new investments in the renewable, on the hydro capacity, on the wind power, on the solar. The solar is beaten by Italy, but it is mostly the US is very advanced in the biodiesel, but as I said, it is not yet there. Why I cover these? These are the main concerns for us in the Middle East and the Far East. These are the challenges that will face the oil producers. Countries that have been conventional about their production of oil are now worried about two things. Of course, the US production, and this could spread into China. China is a vast country. They can produce from any place they want if they can find the tight oil in the shale, which they are now offering acreage for. Of course, Russia can do it. Some countries in the Middle East, but there is many challenges for this to be seen. If you want me to assure you that there is enough oil in the world, I think there is enough oil. A lot of oil are going to come in the world. I don't think we should see shortages. This tightness in the oil is something that we have been looking at from a long time. And I think because of the rise of the China and India, demand has to go up. Therefore, prices has to go up. It's now costing about $30 per barrel to produce a barrel in some countries, even in the Middle East, I have to share with you. Now, the second one I want to cover is the LNG or the gas production. As you know, in the Middle East and in the Far East, there is not much a network like in Europe where it is well connected and well supplied. However, LNG has become really a real commodity in this area. In 2006, when I was in the market, the whole production of LNG is about 159 million tons per year. In 6 years, the capacity has gone to 278 million tons. If we look at the growth, the production of growth, it's mainly going to come from Australia. Australia will produce about 60 million more, and is on the drawing board of making another 90 million. We only have one pipeline in the region. It is between Qatar and Abu Dhabi. It's called the Dolphin, where gas is sent on a long way. If you look at the growth in this market, 2006 we used to have 80 vessels, for example, for LNG. Today we have 360, and there are 80 under order for this business. Now, the challenges that will face us as producers of gas, of course, is the shale gas. But the shale gas in the US, so far, we can say it is quite successful. However, there are issues that has not been solved for that. Mainly the land use, the environmental impact, and the danger to water or reservoir. I don't think the US is putting all its research behind making sure this is an acceptable issue. I think in the future we'll see where many environmentalists are going to jump at this and make shale gas production more expensive. Therefore, if I go back to the LNG, it is still a micro business. It is linked to the old contracts, and it's very rigid for the importers. And that's why stay mostly in the Far East. We have seen in Europe many arbitrations, especially against the Russian producer Gazprom, also against Qatar, where they wanted to change this formula. I will give you just the names of the four biggest producers. You know the oil, but the biggest producer today of gas in the world is Qatar. It's producing 77 million tons of LNG. That is about 120 BCM on your, if you do the BCM for 1 billion cubic feet. Malaysia is second, 25, Indonesia, Australia. But Australia will go to about 100 million tons, we think, in the future. As I said, if we go to the shale challenge for us and for the rest of the Far East, this is going to be how this is going to be treated environmentally and socially as a land use. And this could increase the price of gas for the producers in the US, where if the gas price goes down, they may not sustain their production. It is also short-lived. It's going to not to be more than 30 years of production from a place to another. Now, I was asked to cover a little bit about Qatar and why Qatar has been successful. And I have heard it today just why Greece was not, advantage, things like that. And I would like to share with you just a little bit why we were successful over the last, I would say 15 years. If I go back just to the late 80s, Qatar was a producer only of almost 350,000 barrels of crude oil. Nothing else. We would have been the poorest country today in the Gulf if we had stayed on that production. That was really the spark for our leadership to look at other ways to improve our situation. Today we produce 800,000 barrels of crude oil. We produce about 7 million tons of naphtha. Some of you, I'm sure many of you know that's naphtha. We produce 14 million tons of LPG. And we produce, of course, 777 million tons of LNG every year, or 120 BCM. Therefore, people will tell you that is very rich and so and so. No, we have a lot of them also on the other side. This happened because there were really decisions that we have taken from 92 onwards that have really changed the whole formula for the state. One really was the pressure of being the lowest producer. Of course, Bahrain has a little production, but if you look at Kuwait or Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia, they are massive producers. So there was a pressure on the leadership really to find a solution for this. Number one solution was to be pragmatic. Just the leadership was sitting there ready to take decisions whenever a decision is made by us or recommended by us. It took 24 hours to get a decision taken on the industry. Secondly, we saw the future of LNG as a future for the gas. We didn't ignore the oil, but we said this is where we are going to go. Secondly, the third one was really to look at how we can invite investments that are not going to change the laws of the state. Therefore, Qatar Petroleum was completely isolated from the local, I would say, activities and had its own flexible, attractive investment laws that allowed first, of course, Mobil, and then Total, and then the others. All of the players joined us very early. Say by 98, we had 15 major players playing in the oil industry in Qatar. So the partner that brought technology and was able to bring finance to the projects were the ones selected and welcomed by Qatar. What we also did is we continued to reinvest the money into the industries and go down the chain of the derivatives until even today the money is invested in three sectors. One is in the new technologies, of course, and we are looking even at shale opportunities if they are good. The second is also we are investing in the renewable, especially sun. The sun we are very active in it. And the third one is really on the derivatives. We are going to build the biggest cracker and the biggest aromatic plant in the world, and it's under really big qualifications. If I look at, I will conclude just by saying one more thing. I read yesterday in the Financial Times that Mexico, the new president, is trying to bring back what was lost. Mexico, when the oil majors were playing in the country, the production was about 4 million. Then there was, of course, the change, the more bureaucracy against these companies. The oil today is about, production is about 2.3. They think if they change their laws and bring back the oil majors and their technology, they can go back to 3.8. The key really is to have a good partner that will cater for your needs. However, they will always, of course, protect their knowledge and know-how. But in our Middle Eastern side, we have really to rely on what advanced, technologies they have to bring the gas and the wealth to the people. That's why our formula, which I just shared with you, is now thought about in Mexico. So I will share that with the new presidency now is bringing it back. That's why for us, really, we think in 92 we made the right decision. That's why we advanced in this. Of course, we are looking at Greece, I don't know if the message that is here, we are looking at all the new production in Europe, and they are interested. Qatar international is always interested in these networks and production that will happen in the new technology and the deeper oil and gas. I thank you very much. I'll be happy to answer later any questions you like.